One of the simplest ways to look for trading setups is to watch for pullbacks in price from the current trend direction. And it's not always easy to find a real edge in any market that you trade, but pullbacks are one of those price patterns that is an actual edge. And yes, you're going to have to determine a few things, such as, is the market trending or is it in consolidations? Does the impulse leg look like it deserves another move, higher or lower? Your entry, your exit, and your stop loss criteria. Nothing's guaranteed. Okay, even a price pattern that follows the natural ebb and flow can fail, and it's crucial that you understand how a pullback can fail. As the market moves through different price levels, it does so in a simple pattern. Price will move with momentum in the direction of the overall trend. Price will pull back from the price level it reached. Price will consolidate. You want to ensure the pullback in price has certain characteristics, and those we should concern ourselves with show up in a number 1 and number 3. So let's take a look at consolidations as our first concern. In this graphic, we see a common evolution of price. Number 1, price starts to move up into what eventually turns into an uptrend. 2, we have a healthy pullback, which is pretty common after price begins a change of trend. Number 3, price puts in a higher high, and after the low at number 2, well, this is a price pattern uptrend. And number 4, we look to trade the pullback from the momentum push into number 3, and price begins to range. Now, this is a daily Forex chart, and it would be a challenge to enter this trade and sit through this range of price. If you did not get an entry trigger, you may decide to treat this new price evolution as a potential breakout trade. Now, regardless of what happens next, this is a pullback failure, and it's going to require other methods to get into the trade. Now, remember that we want to trade a pullback in the context of a strong momentum leg that precedes the pullback. In the needed setup for a pullback trade lies what we don't want to see. This is a chart that I was watching for a potential short entry. It's the British pound against the Japanese yen. Number 1 is a healthy move to the downside that did not end in a climax move. And number 2, while price initially broke from the lows with momentum from what could be argued as a range, there were several days of lazy price action, which means no momentum. Number 3, Brexit news hits the wire. Price rockets to the upside with momentum. Now, that momentum move violates a variable that we need to see to consider a pullback worthy of a trade, and that is lack of momentum. This move takes any pullback move to join the downtrend off the table. But it also does something else. If there's basing at the high of this impulse candlestick, you could consider a long trade depending on the price action in the range. If there is a lazy pullback from this zone, a long trade could be considered. And if price pushed a little higher to the last minor swing level and gave a failure test of the highs, well, that could be a short trade. Now, this type of failure tends to be obvious, but traders will still try to short this market as an impulse action due to the momentum to the upside. Traders love to be contrarians, and it certainly could drop hard from this level. You still need a setup to get you into the market to be consistent. A trading plan that simply states fade momentum candlesticks, well, that ignores the herd mentality. While you are fading, others are afraid to miss the big move and are contrary to your position. Now, all is not lost if you've been stalking a trade setup and you see it fail. As we talked about in the section of momentum in the pullback, this can set up 3 different scenarios that can be traded. Pullbacks that fail by the way of ranging price action could have a trader shifting their mindset and their trading tactics to a breakout style of trade entry. But what is vital is that a trader knowing when the setup that they're watching is still valid. And to do so, you must not only know what makes it successful, but also what it looks like when the setup is actually failing.